Okay, I just wanted to clarify one thing, which is probably needs a little bit more clarification for the first section today than the second section because due to a student question it came out a little better perhaps. And that is with these agreements, and this is like a sidebar to our lecture and course material when we talked about the actual agreement that joint ventures make. We did the sample of the software development company and what that agreement was like. We mentioned one concept, and that concept was the fact that the developer puts up little or no money. Now they oftentimes are required to put up some money so that they have something at risk. But typically the developer doesn't have the kind of money needed to develop the project to begin with, which is why they are going to an investor. And the developer starts off the deal not atypical, as a 1% owner, and the investors are at 99% to protect their investment. That's why it's done that way. It's the way of the investor protecting their investment. Somewhere along the line, when certain triggering points are met or certain goals, when they meet the right goal, which is typically and foremost that the investor gets paid their investment plus the preferential return, which in partnership language translates as the guaranteed payment. And guaranteed payments are going to be treated just like interest expense. They'll be deducted and they'll be picked up as ordinary income by the investor, be deducted by the partnership. Don't forget that. Deducted by the partnership and picked up as ordinary income, just like interest expense. And since it is for the time value of money, since it is for the time value of money, it stands to reason that rings true, that's how it should be. Just like interest expense would be to the partnership, it's deductible, and just like interest income to the lender, it's income, ordinary income to the investor. So I should say ordinary income. Okay, so back to here. Then we talked about the next step, which is the fact that at some point in time when this triggering event here occurs, the ownership percentages changes. This could go to 75%, as in our example in class, and this would go to 25%. So these guys stay in for future profits, which hopefully will be good. But this guy, the developer, is now hopefully a winner by having gained 75%, and all that happened was that he stayed in for the length of time, developed the deal, successfully met the goal of paying back the investor, and now because of that is rewarded the difference between 1% and 75%. No money, dollars to buy it? No. Purely what? Purely effort to get the deal to work out. This is what's known, we spoke about that as Congress is concerned, because when this interest is sold, it's subject to capital gain tax. Whereas ordinarily, we think of when someone does an effort, makes an effort, we think of that as being ordinary income, earned income, ordinary earned income. And yet here we have a situation where it could yield to capital gain if sold. If sold. And that's the key, that it's only if sold. This issue, as I said in class, has been part of Congress's concern that this seems to unfairly reward people who are otherwise earning money, paying ordinary income tax rates, and these developers come along and they get this big boost and potentially capital gains when they sell it. This is what's known as the carried interest. So I wanted to point that out to you. The carried interest. Not interest in terms of time value of money, not that kind of interest, but interest in terms of the person gets this without putting up any money. I'm not sure the derivation of carried interest. To me, it's always been that they carry the interest out with them without having to put up any money. There's probably another reason why it's called that, but the carried interest issue has been a hot topic from time to time, and as I said in class, right now it's sort of been on the quiet side. I'm sure we'll hear about it when the next tax act overhaul comes up for discussion, and the fact is the concern is that shouldn't this carried interest, this additional interest that the developer gets boosted up without having paid for it, the issue is maybe it should be subject to ordinary income tax rates, even with a sale. Ordinary income tax rates, even with a sale, because it's not the same as a capital gain. Capital gain items, you invest for $1 and you wait, and over time it goes up in value. That's the concept of a capital gain. All right, that's what I wanted to let you know about, and I'll see you next time.